47% of the population. I thought about this same governor last year when he was asked about Senate Bill 5, Issue 2. He affirmed that he supported Senate Bill 5, Issue 2. So sisters and brothers, I thought about how could anybody in the great state of Ohio, especially those of us who are part of the 47%, especially those of us who are in labor, how could any of us dare to even think about supporting Governor Romney? I just don't understand. So Congressman, I wanted to make sure I wasn't being too partisan. You know, ladies, I don't understand how any woman, no matter if they're Republican or not, I would have to rethink my position in terms of Governor Romney and Congressman Ronnie. Folks who I know were not birthed, they had to be hatched. And they have no respect for women. I'm just saying. So ladies, maybe we will get together later, but I want to remind you, because I was just so sick and tired of my male Republican members of the General Assembly and folks in Congress trying to legislate a woman's womb and our reproductive rights. So I decided maybe I have been abdicating my responsibility as an elected official. So I decided to introduce Senate Bill 307, ladies, and that's to deal with erectile dysfunction. I want to show men a little love. They've been so preoccupied.
Sneak by you guys.
With our womb. I wanted to send a message. And it's funny how when you start talking about regulating a man's reproductive health, folks think it's funny. But when we talk about regulating a woman's reproductive health and her right to choose and her right to have a conversation with her doctor and her family, everybody thinks it's okay. Well, it's not okay. So ladies, I decided that any man that would need that, they would have to get a signed affidavit from their partner affirming the fact. That they would have to go through a cardiac stress test every 30 days to make sure that picture is fine. That they would have to be counseled by a sex therapist. Because we want to make sure that it's physical and not psychological. And if that wasn't enough, their doctor would have to sit them down and explain the potential side effects of such drugs and give them the opportunity to choose either natural remedies or, ladies, this will cure erectile dysfunction just fine, celibacy. I swear to you that we have Republican colleagues here in the state of Ohio and in Congress who have lost their ever-loving minds. I am convinced that Ohio, we can help them find it, and they're going to find it somewhere else because they will not be occupying the White House if we have anything to say or do about it. I just can't understand how when our president is elected to office, they decide that instead of making sure that our children are educated and that we put people back to work, their number one goal was to make him a one-term president. I cannot understand that. And then Republicans want to talk about small government. Well, government would be a hell of a lot smaller if they get the heck out of it. Just to stay out, and it would be smaller. So again, Chairman, I wanted to check myself because I wanted to make sure I wasn't being too partisan. So I decided to look at the president's to-do list. And my husband has the president's to-do list. So good Democrats, I want to remind us of how far we have come in this nation. So if my husband can help me out with this, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So we took the time to put together a to-do list for the president's to-do list. So I just want to remind the good Democrats. All right, so the president takes the oath of office. All hell is breaking loose in the economy. We're bleeding 800,000 jobs a month. So the president has to stop the country from falling off the flipping elected, our President Clinton gave him a surplus. When President Obama was elected, he got a no plus. So oath of office, too late to turn back, fiscal cliff, check. Then, and not necessarily in this order, ladies, he affirmed that he believes that those of us with the XX chromosome deserve to make dollar for dollar of what a man makes, and that we need to have recourse in the court system. The first bill that he signed, Lilly Ledbetter Act, check. Now, I don't know about you ladies, and especially those of you who are married, but I don't know any man who does not want his wife to bring dollar for dollar into the household. Can I get an amen? I'm just saying. This is a pocketbook issue. This is a family issue. Dollar for dollar, check. Then the president had to throw out a lifeline to the auto industry with the help of Senator Sherrod Brown. Lake County, and I was thinking, one of every 8 jobs in the state of Ohio tied to the auto industry, good middle-class paying jobs, not the kind of jobs that you got to scrape by with. And then you got a governor who puts out a commercial about Jeep. Lifeline to the auto industry, check. Then if that wasn't enough, now I'm telling you, all this happened. You know, the first term is not even over, and he has to do all of this stuff. As Commander-in-Chief, fulfilled his promise to defend this country with all of his might. Led the greatest military force on the face of the earth. They did go in, hunt down, and kill Osama bin Laden. Check. And then, Congressman, the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare. Those of us with pre-existing conditions, I am one of those, can no longer be denied. No more lifetime caps. Those of us who have children in our lives can stay on our insurance policy till they're 26 years of age. And ladies, those of us with the XX chromosome no longer will have to pay more for our health care than our brothers have to pay. Check. So all I'm saying, Lake County, is that I would rather, the Republicans keep talking about a president who has been trying. He's trying. He's a nice fella. He's been trying. Well, I am here to affirm to you this evening, but I would rather have a president who's trying